Bruh. Oh shit. Did I do the right thing?
Yeah, we.
This content of this meeting is being sent to a custom live stream service.
Okay, girl. Okay, that did not do what I wanted it to do.
It's
Um,
working though.
Are we on YouTube?
is it on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don.
I am Jamae.
And I'm Jay Trent.
And today we have the luxury of talking about the first round of the playoffs. Um, I'm slightly thankful that all of them got done yesterday because the anticipation of if there were games left either today or tomorrow would have been a lot, especially if it was the Aces, but it's just because I'm selfish. Um, but yeah, we've had some absolutely outstanding performances. So it's just a matter of which series would y'all like to talk about first?
Mhm. Can we
Who
get
went
1-8? Can we get 1-8 out the way?
Oh, you want to
1-8?
go?
Oh
You
yeah.
want to go ahead and talk about Atlanta and Liberty?
Yes. Yeah. So spoiler, I'm still picking the Liberty to win the championship this year. So
Okay.
I I'm not I'm not surprised that they kind of made quick work of us. Game two, I appreciate the performance from the Dream. I felt like they were very resilient. I feel like they knew that, of course, it's a winner go home game. This team is just better than us. Um, it ended up being too much, but the effort was there. We got out to a lead. We were up at the half. It I was pleased with what I saw from them. So the problem. So wait, I don't want to get into the dream yet because I need to give the Liberty some credit because defensively they um they was putting work in. Like when the decision to start Leone Fevich instead of Queen Loop, um, adding that length to the starting lineup and putting pressure on our shooters because that's the real problem with Atlanta, in my opinion. There aren't enough threats to score from the outside. It's really only Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. Um, Jordan Canada doesn't get guarded like a shooter. Like if I could probably pull any clips where there's a where JC's got the ball and her defender gets screened, her defender is going under the screen every time. Because why am I going over the screen? She's not gonna shoot it. Or I'm not worried about what happens if she does. So that was kind of the the biggest problem for Atlanta in this series. The Liberty defense was just outstanding, though. I had to give them their credit. So that's all I got for now.
I will say, um, them actually putting Stevich in the starting lineup, like I was like, oh, y'all are trying to be serious. Like y'all are actually trying to make, oh, y'all are actually trying to win. Okay, New York. I still don't want to believe in them, but that move, I was moved by that. I was moved by that. Um, but I don't know. I feel like in game one, Atlanta was like, I feel like they walked in there and it looked like they forgot they had a game. But in game two, they looked more serious. And that's kind of how I would say I expected it to go. Like the first three quarters, they was on it. They was together. They was keeping it close. And then, you know, the Liberty remembered that they got to play basketball and it's time to get serious. And they got their shit together, led by Leone Febich, mind you. So they still need to be thanking God for her. Um, But yeah, I mean, it went about as well as I expected it. I really wanted them to maybe try to sneak one, but yeah, that was ambitious. That was ambitious.
And it didn't help that Sabrina really got going in game two because leading up to the playoffs, coming back from the Olympic break, Sabrina was having a lot of issues with her shot selection. But in game two, she really was able to get to her spots, was able to get the looks that she wanted, and she was getting them to go down. So that made a big difference for them too.
Phoebich is or the Phoebich edition, Lord. Um, it's one of those things where it's like Courtney being out for that period of time was arguably the best thing that could have happened to the Liberty as a whole. Like, of course, it's very unfortunate for her, and like, you know, it's a sad situation that she was absolutely dealing with. But like, it just unlocked so much for them. I think there were already signs last year that Courtney Vandersloot was slowing down to some degree, and we mentioned this before. I think Jay specifically has mentioned this before, but allowing Sabrina to really unlock her full potential as a PG and, you know, Peepage being 6'4", playing off the ball, and, you know, it just did so much for that team. And now I think they really, really know what they're doing. Um, so I think Sandy's safe for, another day.
Is she?
I, unless they lose, well, we'll see. But it worked out for them. Again, James Wade, this is all your fault. It seems like he has absolutely changed the course of WNBA history in the worst way. Um, but you know, Stewie did Stewie things both games, especially game one. Um, Sabrina put her backpack on game two, said, we're not going to ATL. We're not going to Magic City. And, you know, uh, there's not too much negative I could say about Atlanta. It's really just injuries plus roster construction. I also wanted them to win a game just because I thought it would be like funny, but not even really for anything specific. It's all for the bit. I just thought it would be entertaining. Um, game one, Ryan really struggled, and then game two, you could tell she was really getting into form. I really liked the way Naz Hillman looked. She really came in and did like everything that you could ask for on the court. I would not be surprised to see her getting a bigger role next year, and that really leading to her having like a early MIP case. But like she looked fantastic. So I'm excited for that. The Dream don't really have much to hang their hat on. I don't know what they're gonna do in the offseason. I think that'll be one of the more interesting teams outside of like the Wings as far as the possibilities of how their roster could go. But yeah, do I want to believe in the Liberty? Absolutely not. Do I think they're probably the best team left in the playoffs? Absolutely. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to. But we'll see how the Aces get down. Um, I can't even I can't even hate it today. Not today. We'll see tomorrow, but not today.
Being a
So
good hater.
yeah, so bringing up the Dream off season, it's gonna be interesting. Um, the Dream only have 7 players under contract for next season. So and that those players are Jordan Canada, Alicia Gray, Nia Coffey, Ryan Howard, Haley Jones, Letitia Mehier, and Naz Hillman.
I
I mean, that's fine. The problem is they're gonna have to add to the front court, especially And I think they're gonna need to add they need to add shooting at every position. Because if Jordan Canada is your lead ball handler, which is fine, I think she's good enough as a PG in that role. The problem is you have to surround her with knockdown shooters. And that's really the thing. And I was also impressed with Nas. I was impressed with her rebounding, her being able to put pressure on the rim. She can get downhill, get to the basket. But we need lineups where everybody out there can be trusted to shoot or can be guarded like a shooter because I think that was our biggest problem. No, and we didn't really have a go-to. We had the post ups for Tina Charles and the Liberty. They were like, okay, well, we'll just double Tina, and they were like, we'll double her with whoever's supposed to guard Nas. Because if she's in the post and Nas is on the wing, they're not worried about Nas shooting it. So I think that's gonna be the biggest change stylistically for the Dreams going forward.
Feel like it's like the people that y'all have, it's like I feel like I want them to be enough, but it's just like I feel like all of them need to take a leap offensively. And um I'm just not sure how like quickly they can do that. I mean, I am a little moved by Haley and Letitia going to play in New Zealand. Because I feel like players who have went over there or to went to the WNBL period um have come back pretty impressive offense. I don't know what they're doing over there, but like they've come back like kind of more prepared offensively. Um, so I'm hoping that that's like a good step for them because I mean, if you can get Haley even knocking down a midi, like and in college that was kind of her bag too. So it's like if you could just get her knocking down that consistently, if LA can get consistent minutes, like we know she can get to we know she can get to the basket. You know, she just can't travel. We just gotta get her to stop traveling. But you know, we know she can get those things done. So it's like if they take a step and then I believe in Nas' ability to, you know, hit a few shots. So um I think y'all are like just, you know, if we get some off-season development, it could be the right thing. I do think, like you said, you'll need some scoring for sure, but like I don't know, we can think about later who we might see best in that position.
So, Jay, as a residential Atlanta Dream fan, I have two questions. One, is Tanisha Wright your coach next year? And two, um, do you see more of the improvements on your team coming internally or more free agents and other external factors?
You need to write that down. That's a good question. We're gonna use that later.
Are we reusing that for the Indiana
Um,
Fever?
okay, so earlier I was saying getting to the playoffs will be enough for Coach T to keep her job. I'm not so sure anymore. That's not me saying that she should be fired. Um I don't like to do that. But I'm not so sure. And I think that's the first thing that the Dream have to do this offseason is look at the coach and the GM and kind of decide, is this a, is this the, is this going to be um the way that our team, front office, all of that, is that the way that we're going to look going forward?
message I just sent y'all. Do you think she should be fired now? Because you got a new option. Someone new has become available.
No.
Oh,
No, 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 no way, no way, no way, no way. Okay, so for those that are watching live, the Sky just fired Teresa Witherspoon, but she's only been there less than a year, and they weren't projected to be good anyway. And like they kind of exceeded expectations, and then they stumbled off. But I feel like most of it was due to like injuries and whatnot. They had a potential to make an 8 seed, and then Kennedy Carter came back from the Olympic break, and she was sick, and then Angel got hurt, and it's like I didn't really consider that her fault. I really hope they don't come out that she did something, but like I don't think she did nothing wrong. Like coaching wise, I don't really know what she did wrong.
Okay, but Jay, would you want her in Atlanta? I might be moved with her and Ryan Howard. I don't know.
this is too much. This is
I can't believe this.
No,
um
that's crazy. That's crazy. Um, that is
um.
insane.
Does LA call her?
Yes. Yeah, I think LA hits her up today.
No funny shit. Like somebody need to call her because the way she had Atlanta, like I feel like if she would have really had the opportunity to like really coach, like she could she could get somebody, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe Atlanta might need to cut that lady in. This is your new young. I don't know. I don't know.
What did she do wrong though? Like I really don't want to put a scandal on her, but it's hard for me to think it's not nothing scandalous because
I don't think it's nothing
what
scandalous.
did she do
I don't think it's
wrong?
scandalous. I just think they probably I don't know. My part of me feel like maybe like they wanted her to do a certain thing, like go in a certain coaching direction, and she just hasn't done that. Or she's like, I don't want to do that. Like I want to be able to coach the way I want to coach.
I
I
knew
don't know.
that's
I feel like that's their loss though. Cause
it
Angel,
is.
I don't know.
I don't get this. Okay, this just it feels like this. It feels too early for this to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And this is what I'm also thinking about. Angel was talking about people wanting to come and play with her, but like people are not gonna want to play with her in this situation. First of all, the Sky already have like a bottom tier practice facility and bottom tier amenities. Now you have a young team that's not necessarily that good, and like they're up and coming, but they're not necessarily that good. The vets were really disgruntled this year for various reasons, and some of them were just from like playing time, or some of it was harassment, and some of it was both. And now it looks like y'all can't keep a coach. Whether Teresa was the best coach in the league or the worst, it doesn't matter. We have seen countless times where if you keep putting coaches in front of players over and over again, they never get used to anyone and they never grow and they never adapt and it just doesn't work out. I don't, my thing is your two best players, an Angel and Kennedy, seem to really like her. Whether anybody else liked her should not have mattered. It's not about anybody else at that point. If everybody else had issues with her, which I doubt, but if all of the 10 people on that roster had issues, or you need to switch up the 10 people and send them somewhere, but I don't know. But Angel and Kennedy, at least outwardly, really liked her. So I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah, I'm stunned by this, honestly.
You
I can't.
got
I got.
you got girl dad out
It's
here
it's so
coaching.
funny because
You
it's
got
so
Magic
funny that
Man.
Yeah.
Kurt Miller just got fired, which I don't, we don't care about hot takes over here, but I people were upset about the Kurt Miller firing. I personally was not. I know that we're not talking about coaches, but I personally was like I was kind of team fire Kurt, but um, sorry to that man. He's a disclaimer. He's a great coach. I just don't think he was fit for that group, and yeah, we just found out Spoon got fired, and which I think we will all agree that that's a mistake. Like,
Yeah, I think it's funny that you brought up Kurt Miller because I I kind of feel like they fired him too early, also.
okay,
But it's one of those things where it's so hard to gauge, um, because I and this kind of goes for this goes for Teaspoon too because where do you both of these teams felt like they didn't have an identity yet. So it just seems a bit odd to it just seems a bit odd to make that move so quickly. Of course, both teams are gonna have to shake back from this. They don't really have much of a choice. But it's I'm a little shocked
I'm disgusted.
by both of these. And I do think, and it's funny because we were just talking about Don just asked if I felt like Tanisha Wright would be the coach for the Dream next year. And I think they I think that they give some consideration to moving on.
this
But
point,
Listen,
I,
listen, listen.
clearly firing is in the it's in the water. It's in the water. It's in the wind. Like
When's the
I
when's
don't know. They're about to clear house in a bunch of places. This is crazy.
before last week or before Kurt Miller got fired? When was the last time a coach got fired? Was it the Mercury? Did he get fired?
um
Yo, yeah, Vanessa Nygaard got fired last year.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what if Kurt Miller go to the Dream and
I think
then
they if
and
I will say if Tanisha Wright gets fired, they call him.
Kurt Miller goes to
Um,
the Dream, Tanisha Wright goes to Chicago, and Teaspoon goes to the Sparks?
Nation Wright is not going to Chicago. So it's not going to Chicago.
I think if Tanisha Wright is fired, her next job will not be as a head coach.
Yeah, I don't know if they give her
At
another
least
opportunity.
at least not next year.
Yeah, I think of the people, like I feel like Teaspoon could very easily like get another role because I feel like she kind of overperformed, to be honest. Like the
They
Chicago Sky was supposed to be a 12 seed, so
stunk.
they ended up 10. Like that's like based on the numbers, like she did pretty good with what she had. So
They were projected 12th, had a playoff spot, and then their main best players got hurt. I don't know what more she could have done with that roster. I like I I don't know. I guess while we're talking about coaches, uh, we talk not so good things about Kurt Miller on here, but um, I think, like Jay said, these teams didn't have time to build an identity, and like building an identity with teams that stink is really hard. If Kurt had a good team around him, or if Teaspoon had a good team around her, and then they just underperformed, all right, whatever. But like y'all are firing 1 year, 2 year head coaches into after they performed exactly how they were supposed to, if not overperformed. I don't the Sparks were not supposed to do anything else but stink. Like that
So, also,
no one had the
I think
Sparks. No one had the
it's worth
Sparks in the
mentioning.
playoffs.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. Both teams like completely flipped the rebuild switch going into the season. Like, um, the Sky traded Kalia Copper. They moved on from Atlanta Smith. They traded Marina Mabry mid-season. The Sparks traded Jordan Canada. They lost Nneka Ogwumike. It just feels like maybe they felt like maybe both teams felt like, okay, if we rebuild and this is not the coach for that. Who I mean, maybe.
I think that's insane. I don't know. Hold on, Jermaine. Oh, never mind. I was about to say
Yeah.
your sound wasn't coming out.
Oh, I was just saying that like I get that for Kurt Miller. It's like it's not his fault that they stink. They stink in year one, they stink in year two. That's not their fault, but that's not his fault. I mean, some of it is his fault, but like it's not completely his fault. Um, he was committed to tanking. He did a good thing by that. Um, and but Teaspoon, I don't think so. I see somebody in the chat saying they lost Mabry due to internal conflicts. I don't think you can blame the coach for players, whether they had a conflict or not. Like, I don't think you can blame the coach for that. And honestly, like, they were expecting way too much from Marina anyway, so she was never gonna give them what they expected of her. So I feel like that's more of a roster construction problem rather than a coaching problem. And since Coach Weatherspoon isn't the GM, like that's not really her fault. She just got to work with what she got. And she wasn't given a lot of good things. Like, she can't, I mean,
I
you
do
can't do nothing
think,
about that.
yeah, I do think Kennedy coming in and playing as well as she played, that kind of cut into Marina's role too. But I think that by itself, I think is a good thing for her. Well, would have been a good thing for her just because she could play more without the ball. But I don't know. Did not expect to talk about coaches. Wasn't expecting this to come
I
up.
know, wait, gotta
But
shift back to what we were talking about.
I don't know. Firing your coach when your best player likes them is really crazy. Like, De'Erica obviously loved Kurt Miller. She went on like a 5-tweet rant about it. Like,
No, I was not expecting that.
do y'all not ask y'all star players how you feel about this before y'all do things? Like,
They clearly did not have a team meeting before they did that. Like that was nuts.
I don't know. Whatever the reason is, I feel like basketball is a uh, players run sport either way. I feel like no matter how good your coaching is or bad your coaching is, I feel like at the end of the day, it is up to the players. And like they just hold a lot of power because there's not that many of them. There's 12 people on the roster. It's only 5 of them on the court at a time. And 2 to 3 or 1 to 3 are really good. And maybe like 1 or 2 can ask for things and like, hey, I want this person traded or I try to get this person for me or whatever. And like, if you're 1 to 2 people really like the person that's in charge, I feel like unless something crazy happens, you've got to keep them. So I don't know, but I guess we can go 2 to 7. What was that?
wait, wait. Do we go 2-7 or 4-5? Because four matches
Let's
up
do
with one.
let's do let's do 2-7. Let's do
Okay,
2-7.
okay. We could do 2-7. That's the Minnesota Lynx.
All
And
praise to Nafisa Collier, the only back-to-back 35 plus games in playoff games in WNBA history.
Not you remembering her.
Because we forgot all this time and I couldn't forget that because I thought that was crazy because it seemed kind of low. But also, anytime I think of WNBA stats, I have to remember them niggas played 40-minute games. Like if them niggas had
yeah,
8-minute quarters, a lot of these stats would have already been eclipsed by now. Um, but yeah, they even with Phoenix getting really close, the first game, it was not any real point where I was like, I don't know if I'm concerned about them because it's just they all took Michael Jordan's secret stuff. I don't know. I really like my dream for this offseason, no matter what happens, is for us to interview one of the players and ask them, what the fuck did y'all do this offseason? what did y'all do together? Like, what kind of team bonding did y'all do? Because it's really like they're really the 2014 Spurs. Like I have seen teams with more talent than them or whatever, but I ain't never seen it. They might be the most cohesive team I've like seen. Uh, like every piece just fits so well together, and it's like they just play damn near perfect basketball together. I don't know what more you could ask for. Um, B said, I'm trying to retire her, and she absolutely did. She said, take this 40 ball. And I don't know, man. That's she uh she looking like 1B right now.
No, with
on a new agenda every day.
I am on a new, but here's the thing. Here's I just like this is my thing. I think regular season is no, I tweeted this because someone asked, is Fee better than Brianna Stewart? And I said, I don't think she is yet. I think she's just playing better than her this year. I think the regular season is for where you say, yeah, this person is playing better than this person. And then playoffs are for when you say, yeah, this person is better than this person for the most part. Like, if the players are close enough and one person plays better than them, outplays them in the playoffs, I think you can officially say, yeah, this person is better. If he plays like this the rest of the year, if he plays like this all the way to the finals and she wins, she might be best player in the league. Yeah.
I won't let that agenda fly. Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know.
I don't. Okay, so I I think this season alone, Fee has been 1B. But
Agendas.
there was
Agendas.
a I can't say that she is definitively the second best player in the league. I can't get there. Not yet.
Yeah,
Not
not
yet.
yet. Not yet. If this go to October, it's gonna get nasty.
Um, I do. Okay, so I will say, as far as the Lynx go, they just the way that they play defense is suffocating. Like the way that they put pressure on the ball and switch, and then Atlanta Smith is protecting the paint. B is roaming. They just it's like they're playing chess on defense. It's like we know what they finna do. It's almost like they pre-rotate. It seems like it's like they got it all figured out. Now I don't know how that's going to work um in the next round. I don't know how that's going to work against Connecticut, but Phoenix Phoenix really looked lost at times, especially in that last game. In game one, they made a bit of a run. Phoenix made a bit of a run down the stretch. Um, Minnesota was able to close it out because they had some shooters to step up, which is gonna be key. That's gonna be key. That's gonna be key for them against Connecticut because I the think Connecticut just has better defensive personnel than Phoenix. But we'll see.
Yeah, we also have said Phoenix thinks all that year, so or they're the definition of mid. So
Yeah, I still believe they ain't really deserve to be in the playoffs. I ain't gonna lie. They moved me the first game, which is a little ironic because I feel like they started off worse in the first game and it was kind of getting close at the end. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the time. I think at that moment they really needed like Ka to take over and it just won her night. So I feel like that's the thing that like really threw them off. But I believe them in the game one. Then game two, when I saw the score was like 47-49 Lynx at halftime. I said they're cooked and I'm going to bed because I don't, and I woke up and they were cooked. So, yeah, two thumbs down to them. This is still their karma. Like they haven't been, the water hasn't cleared yet. So, bad vibes for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Phoenix to me was the barometer of are you good and are you a bad team? I think if you finish below them, for the most part, like of course other teams had injuries, but for the most part, if you finish below Phoenix, you are more than likely a bad team. And if you finished above them, I could consider you good. Uh, and I mean, you had Indiana at 6, uh, Seattle at 5, Aces at 4. Like, I think it worked out numbers wise. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. Thumbs down to them. They don't deserve good things. I kind of feel bad for Kalia because I don't know. She went over there. She probably thought like her BG and Diana was gonna be like a really nice trio, although that never moved me. Um, it moved a lot of people apparently, but not me, and or not us. And I can imagine if Kalia would have stayed with the Sky, they would have probably also been a 6 seed. So, I mean, she left she left the team that drafted her and that she won a finals MVP with to go to a city with undrinkable tap water. And now the greatest player in franchise history is about to retire. Or she keep acting like she don't want to and she going to. BG is not like washed, but she's not getting any younger. Sophie Cunningham is Sophie Cunningham. Like, it's just not a lot of things to look forward to over in Arizona. Um,
It's really
it,
just
it's Kyle and Kevin Durant and
Oh,
everybody
but
else.
I'm gonna say like I don't really feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for none of them because I mean I said this like early on when we first heard about all the trades and all them going over there. Like to me, they're a team full of players who like are not, they're like good players, but they're not leaders. So it's just they're just like a hodgepodge group of like I'm next up. Oh, I got you sometimes. Like that's just what they are. Um and it's sometimes that worked in their favor and a lot of times it didn't. But what I will say though, I think because I watched their interview, they had an interview with Ari Chambers today. Well, not I don't know if it was actually today, but it came out today. It was off top and it's called Off Top. And Kyle was talking about how much like, it was just such a like it was stressful to her that she had to be a leader in all aspects in Chicago. So it's really nice for her to be in Phoenix where kind of everybody there can be different types of leaders and everybody can play a different role. Um so it's like y'all signed up for that. Y'all knew what y'all was walking into and I think y'all thought it was going to work better than it worked. Um but I think what we're kind of seeing is that like you need people to go to in crunch time. Um, and most people would say, well, you need a superstar, but in the Minnesota's case, like Bridget Carlton has been their girl down the stretch all season. Like Bridget Carlton has hit so many big shots for Minnesota, and she be coming out the game with 12 points, but it's like if she don't hit that shot, like they're cooked. So I don't know. I think you have to do a little bit more of piecing people together, but I don't know. I don't think that again, I didn't think the roster construction was gonna work from the beginning. And it's they're out of they lost in the first round, so that's that.
yeah,
Side note. Oh,
uh,
I was gonna again, not to talk about coaches for too long, but with the tweet you just sent to the chat, Angel went on her dissertation about how much she did not agree with Teaspoon firing. So it was obviously not co-signed by her. So again, firing a coach that your best player liked is absolutely insane. This is a very long tweet. So like, I don't know. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, what does Phoenix do now?
Their best.
Because I mean, I mean, do they? Because you can't really run it back, especially if you feel like, especially if Diana is retiring, which it appears that she is. Of course, it is yet to be confirmed, but it appears that she is retiring. So if that's the case, do you just do you retool the roster around Kai and just go from there? I don't know what that looks like. Does Natasha Cloud stay? Like there's I don't know.
What
We
do
got
you how many teams
we're gonna get into that later because when we actually like talk about Phoenix and all of that stuff, like in the off
Right.
season. But I guess my short version of that is I just think it's hilarious that they really didn't want to rebuild and here they are. So yeah.
this
Like it's one of those things where rebuilding conceptually is not fun because that means you losing. So I understand them saying, "Oh, we'll trade for Kalia Copper, we'll bring in Natasha Cloud," and but when that ends up with you being a 6 seed, you just kind of at a crossroads. So
I just think when your one of your main pieces has played in the league since the Clinton administration and that person's name is not LeBron James, I think you have a bad thing going. Um, Diana is amazing. She's not my GOAT, but she's obviously one of them. I appreciate her for all that she's done. But like having her as your big three is insane. Um, at this point in her career, like she has shown that she could score and do what she needs to do and drop 25, 30, whatever, whatever. But like her role at this point should have been I'm going to come off the bench and I'm just going to be a little microwave that y'all need. And if I need to have the come out every 4 games and score a bunch and keep people on their toes, I would do that. But like she was not supposed to be a main piece. Um, I don't know. They get what they deserve though. So thumbs down to them. Uh, they're going to be stuck in a boot loop of being mid for quite some time. Kalia is too good to let them be bad, but she is not good enough for them to be championship contenders. Um, unless they have a fire sale, but like it's not a good look as an organization to have a fire sale after you just traded for a finals MVP. So good luck to you. Um, three and
so
six. Oh, you want to say something else about that before we
no,
start?
no, that's what I was about to ask. I was about to ask which one do we go next.
3 and 6. Uh, Jamae, you look stressed.
Because
I just
you already know, like I already told y'all, I walked into this situation knowing that we were not gonna win. Like I walked in like I know we're not gonna win. Like if we had to play Vegas, it was a hard no. With Connecticut, I was like, still no, a little softer, but still no. And so I'm like, I wasn't like shaken or confused by the way we played. And because it's the same thing I've been saying all year. Indiana does not know how to play when the game is slowed down. It's Connecticut slowed the game down so much in that first game, and they couldn't get right. 30 piece on ABC. midday. I was at the Fever watch party, room full of fans, watching us get our ass whooped on the projector. So like it's like I knew it was gonna happen. I did the second game. I was a little more moved by. I mean, I think I don't even really want to say we played better because um we still kind of looked ridiculous. Um and like it was kind of funny listening to the broadcast because like Rebecca Lobo was talking about how like well we were like she was talking about how well we were playing with pace. And I'm like, ma'am, it's been 5 minutes and the score is 10-4. Like 5 minutes have been off the clock and 14 points across both teams have been scored. That's embarrassing. That is not playing with pace. Like Caitlin getting her threes off randomly, you know, making maybe one fast break pass is not playing with pace. And we still look disjointed. We're still playing at Connecticut's pace. And that doesn't work for us. And I don't feel like Christy tried to do the thing where she let Timmy start out. But to me, it's like I think it worked. It was okay at first, but I really feel like she should have gave Nalissa more minutes in that game. Because there were just moments where Timmy just looked like outmatched. Especially in that last quarter, like I'm sure y'all seen the play where Timmy is being defended by Alyssa Thomas, and everybody's just watching. You're just watching her, and Timmy is like trying to back Alyssa down.
Hey,
Not
AT
happening.
was not moving.
Not happening. She was like AT was standing there like, okay, girl, like be for real. And nobody came to help her. And it's just like Timmy's not like a post up big. You know, we've seen her do her best work running the floor or, being able to like make a move from like somewhere in the mid range. But if Nalissa had been in that position, like she could have got off right there. That is something she could have did. So I don't know. I don't know if I appreciated all the coaching changes. I don't even think she like tried to do enough. I was texting y'all during the game. She tried to do the off ball thing with Caitlin, and she had Erica, Caitlin, and Kelsey there. And it's like we haven't really been working on Caitlin playing off ball all year. So why you want to try it now? I mean, I'm glad you tried to try something. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing to lose. Try it. But Buki, if you had tried that 20 games in, we might be in a better place. And two, like she didn't even try to play Katie Lou. That kind of shocked me. I ain't gonna lie. Her not even trying to play Christy Wallace. Y'all know how I feel about that lady too. Y'all know how I feel about both of them. But her not even like attempting to play them. I was like suspicious. So I don't know. Like, yeah, I didn't expect them to win. The second game, I was still proud of them, obviously, for how the season has gone, but that's just that. A lot of credit to Connecticut because they did what they had to do. Marina and Dewana stepping up big time late game, and that's why I too was telling y'all like they can't really blow up. I know everybody's like blow up Connecticut if they don't win, but like with Marina there, I'm moved. If they could just replace Dewana, if they could replace Dewana, AT could aggressively score, and they get everybody else that they got. Oh, and replace S2. If they're not gonna play her, replace her. They could be released. Like I could be moved by them. But yeah, that's my rant.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say when I saw that Indiana started Timmy in place of Melissa, I understood it because I guess the thought process there is in game one, Connecticut forced us to play at their pace. So if we start out with this lineup, we're going to try to force them to play the way that we want to play. So I understand the thought process. It didn't work in practice, probably not the way that they expected it to, but I do understand the thought process there. And to the point of that play where AT was guarding Timmy and she just couldn't get by, and they just the other four players just watched her try to back Alyssa Thomas down, and nobody swarmed to the ball. Like, let me get a clean look off, like something. But yeah, it didn't work. And it's funny, Nalissa in that spot, I think Nalissa is better with the ball in her hands. She's better in isolation. So if like, not to say she would have scored on AT because AT is AT, but you like your chances a little bit better in that situation. So I understand that too. As far as Connecticut goes, yeah, maybe I was wrong. Maybe they don't. Maybe the roster as constructed is that there's something there. Maybe there's something there with them adding Marina Mabry. Maybe there's something there. I because I like what I saw. We'll see how they look against Minnesota, but I like what I saw there. The biggest thing for them is going to be replacing Duana. I know that Bree Jones is a free agent, so that might play a part too. But Atlanta needs to call her, by the way. But I think so that'll that'll play a part in what happens for them. But I think I like what I saw from Connecticut.
I'm not ready to say if the Sun don't win, don't blow it up. Although again, I do like what I've seen. I really have to see them against a team that like matters. uh, I I got to see how they look against the Lynx, and if they get past the Lynx, how they look against either the Aces the or the Liberty. Because again, we always talk about them being the bridesmaid, never the bride. Like they're no matter who's on that team, it could be us, AT, and Dewana Bonner. They gon' they gonna get somewhere. Like it don't matter. You take three kids from the YMCA, a ninth grader, and AT gonna take them somewhere. It's just a matter of like how far. So I don't know, but they look very good against the Fever. I know a lot of people like talked about how the Fever got blown out in game one, but that game was pretty competitive for the most part until they ran it up in the fourth. But like that was an extremely competitive game for 3 quarters. The score does not tell the whole story of that game at all. Um, Game four, I mean, that could have went either way for the most part. I think the experience of Connecticut just shined through at the end. Um, Once DeWanna hit that three in the corner, I was like, I think this is it. But when the Fever took that lead, I was like, okay, I'll see how you get down. But yeah, DeWanna hit that three right after, and I was like, yeah, I think they about to do it. I think the wire hanger's about to get them. So yeah, all praise to them. Marina looks like she is fit with them very well. I love the dynamic of her and Dejanay, like on court and off court. It's just funny how much they like openly admit, like, yeah, we don't like each other, but like, no, it's cool. Uh, and like, I just feel like they both do things that the other doesn't on the court, and I think that makes it like things work. Uh, I know we were laughing because I forgot who tweeted it, but somebody was like, I've never seen Marina play defense like that. And I think that Connecticut is really like getting to her in a positive way. I mean, if you on a team where everybody play defense and
Lock it up.
you the only one that don't, you're gonna look crazy. So, I mean, she played for the Wings and she played for Chicago, and both those times she was the first or second best player on the team at all times. But with Connecticut, she is not. And so she's not the de facto leader or like the co-leader or co-captain. So like I think she's fit very well with them. I'm excited to see how that goes, the Lynx as well. Dejanay has the best celebration in sports right now. That click of the ticket is insane. Yeah, AT is AT. Um, her and Fee are going to be must-see TV. I'm honestly more excited to watch them than I am the Aces and Liberty, just because it's really like an unstoppable force meets a movable object. Like,
You don't feel that way about both. That way about both matchups. I'm like, I really need. I had to put them shit in my calendar because I'm like, I need to see. So
Yeah.
y'all gotta show me something. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm
I
about to play.
I need to see how this is about to work. But yeah, all praises to the Fever. They did what they were supposed to do. Like, I don't really think they did anything wrong. Of course, there are things they could have did better, but at the end of the day, they're a young team and they were the lower seed, and they did things that a lower seed normally does. And losing isn't necessarily a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. It just teaches you how to win at a certain point. And it's not like anyone expected them to win a championship, or it's not. I'm not gonna say nobody because there were definitely people who expected them to win a championship day one, but no reasonable person expected them to win a championship day one. So I really like what I seen out of Aaliyah. Uh, she looked absolutely fantastic both games. Uh,
I'm glad you said that because I was about to mention her. One of the few WNBA players to average a double-double in their debut. Yeah, my young goat did that. She had what? 16 and 19 in game 2. Mm-hmm.
I think she averaged
Yeah,
over 15 points and 15 rebounds for the series.
Yeah,
exactly.
she did. I
Exactly.
think I wish I had the exact stat pulled up, but they were saying that she was the youngest player to do that since Candace Parker did it in her rookie season. So
I think
I'm
it
pretty
was I think she's the only other Fever player other than Tamika Catchings to do it too.
At least since like 2016 or something like that.
Yeah. So elite company. The ceiling is high, the future is bright,
But Aaliyah always, I think the thing I appreciate about Aaliyah and players like her is that no matter how a game is going, she always finds a way to be useful. And whether her shot is falling, whether she's in foul trouble, whatever, Aaliyah is always useful. It is not a time where I'm like, Aaliyah does not need to be on this court, or she's doing too much, or whatever. Uh, she gonna get a board, she gonna get a stop, she gonna make a pass out of the post, she gonna do something. And I think just on a consistency basis, I think she is the most consistent player on that team, bar none. Um, Whether people feel like Kelsey or Caitlin are better than her, whatever. But like as far as a consistency basis, she needs the least to do the most. And yeah, I can only imagine what else she's gonna do with more time and more experience, and as she continues to expand her range, and you know, she arguably has like the best post footwork in the league. Dear Lord, I texted y'all this, but I absolutely love making highlights of her because that junk is like it's art for real. And yeah, Caitlin started figuring out in the second game. I really enjoyed that because DeWanda really shut her water off in game one. She got a little bit more comfortable in game two. Uh, there were definitely times where I'm like, you probably should stop shooting that three. But growing pains. I okay, I guess my question for Jamae is, I guess we know Melissa is leaving since She
No,
mean, she ain't say that. I mean, technically, she ain't say that.
and she signed the extension, Buki. You need to stay. You
she
are on the books for another year.
she made. I don't know. I don't think you make it to a post like that if you stand.
2,000 characters.
That jump was long. The only way you can make that is with Twitter Premium. Um, is Kelsey Mitchell a part of the future?
We can't talk about this right now. We need to
Okay,
move on.
never
We need
mind,
to move
never mind,
on.
never mind, never mind, never mind. That's
Wait,
off season.
wait.
That's off season question.
Before we do, I found the post was Aaliyah is the youngest player since Candace Parker to have a 15 point, 15 rebound playoff game because
Period.
Candace did it as a rookie. So
Period.
that was
Her
that was
icon.
it.
Yeah. She ate that. Also shout out to hold on. I need to say really quick, shout out AT getting a triple double, the original. And then putting up her 15, 5, 10, 5 game or
Was it?
whatever. She's
I think it
like,
was 15, 5, and 5.
no, she had 10 assists.
Nah, it was yeah.
Or was it
She had
15,
like
5, and
19.
10?
Yes, 15, 5, and 10. That's what it
Okay.
was. Um, Putting that up. I think she's done it like 5 times. I think everybody else has maybe done it twice. I think Maya Moore did it twice.
Yeah. See,
It
that's
was
what I
it was some random people on the list. I was like, Candace Dupree? Okay. All right, whatever. But yeah, shout out to AT, man. Like her like committing to the offense and just like committing to taking shots. She ran through fucking who was it? Who was that? Was it Lexi Hall? Like, I think she was trying to draw the charge and she just pushed that baby down. I was like, like low key it was an offensive foul, but it's kind of like can't really call it. Like Brett kind of just looked at her like you should have got out the way, and I'm just like, call that, but also you should have moved out the way. I don't know. But yeah, shout out AT, man. I feel like I'm not gonna get in my soapbox about this because we'll probably talk about awards another day, but I just feel like she's gone so under the radar this year, and like people are just truly, genuinely not giving her credit for the season that she's had, and everybody has been trying to give everybody around her credit, and it's like she's continued to kind of push like I don't know, I feel like she's making everyone around her better, and they are it's showing, but instead of people acknowledging that it's like AT is the foundation of this, Dejanay is able to do this because AT is constantly roaming, Dewana can hit these shots because AT always can find her. And the same for Marina, same for Bree. Like this is happening because AT is like doing the little things and making sure people are in good positions, and I just feel like everybody's just kind of been like, okay, anyways. So I just wanted to like say that about her. We can move on if we need to. So 4-5, if y'all ready.
I just want to say AT's nickname is the engine for a reason. She really makes everything go. On top of the fact that if she drives in the paint on the fast break, it's good. That damn fake pass into a layup is unstoppable.
Like once I saw that AT decided, okay, I'm finna go get mine. I was like, oh, okay, this game is over. Because once she decides to be aggressive as a scorer, you see the player that was the leader in first place MVP vote last year. Like you see why she got so much love last year. Because when she decides, okay, I'm gonna go get mine, and it's almost like it's just adding to everything else that she does. It doesn't seem to like usually like we were talking about Marina saying that she's been better on defense now. And I think that correlates to her having less responsibility on offense. With AT, it doesn't seem like that matters. Because with AT, it just seems like yeah, she's gonna defend, she's gonna roam. If she gotta protect the rim, she'll do that. She's gonna play make, she's gonna set teammates up, she's gonna grab boards. And if she decides she wanna get her buckets, she gonna get her buckets in addition to the rest of that. So that's what I think that's what separates her to me. Because most players, regardless of how good they are, can't do that.
AT reminds me of Steve Nash in the sense of when it comes playoff time, I'm getting my buckets. Regular season, I'm gonna pass y'all this ball. I'm gonna score like 12, 14. You know, I'm gonna take what I can get. But come playoff time, I'm getting mine. And if you're not trying to get yours, get your ass on. Move out my way, actually. Because I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So I I think if she played like this in the regular season, she'd probably have like a unanimous MVP right now. But that's not really her fault. I think that it's not that the way she plays in the playoffs is like unsustainable, but that is a lot to
Mhm.
do over a 40 game period and also in the playoffs. So like she does it at the right time. She's still really good. Top three play in the league, top four, whatever. It's really it was really her, Asia, and Stewie for the longest, and then Fee just decided to submit her ballot to be in that contention. So now we just figuring out the order of these names, but like, yeah, it's Alyssa Thomas is amazing, and I'm so excited to see her and Fee battle. They are going band for band.
Yeah, I got this. I probably have both series going 5. I know we'll probably talk about it at the end, but I think both of these are gonna be dogfights. Like I really I this is gonna be some special basketball.
And we're getting it so early. This is crazy. Like I can't. Okay, let's talk about 4 or 5, so then we can talk about um the other matchups. Um, Seattle sisters. I just, I felt so bad for Noelle Quinn having to be like, these motherfuckers don't play. I said I'm gonna stop cursing, but they don't be playing with no energy. Like, why are y'all coming out looking so tired? Y'all just got here. Like, did y'all sleep on the bus? Like, what's tea? Y'all got flights now. You should not be coming out here like that. You need to be refreshed and relaxed and ready to play. And they just don't. They've been looking crazy. Skylar has been playing on another level. Jordan Horston, yo, when she did the little spin move bump on who was that? Was it KP or Jack? I was like, oh my God, Jordan Horston.
Yeah, it was Jackie, I'm pretty sure. I think I know what you're talking about.
Like this is the clip I'm submitting as evidence. Like, oh my God. I literally screamed. And then when they didn't give her the bucket, I was so mad because I was like, bro, like she ate that. Anyway, but yeah, Seattle has been like a little disappointing. Um, and obviously a lot of that is Jewel, and I think she's kind of going through an injury right now. So I don't want to do too much on her, but I am gonna do a bit on her because she's been playing some funky basketball all year. And it was like, okay, now this is your time to figure that out. And she did not figure it out. Um, and I don't know what happened. I think that first game, it was better because NECA was kind of doing something, but then like once Vegas threw the double team on her, they was like, yeah, we ain't got nothing else. And I'm like, y'all ain't got nothing else? Like, y'all can't, y'all can't do nothing else? We can't nothing else? I mean, Sammy Wickham not on the bench no more. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So that was really disappointing. But I will say on the flip side, Vegas, Vegas moved me. Vegas moved me. Chelsea Gray is back in her bag. I don't want to hear it. Chelsea Gray is back in her bag. My point guard is back in her bag. She hit the little stutter. so fucking bad, bro. Yeah, so I'm moved by the Aces. I'm moved by them. They got me. They got me.
Yeah, that was the first thing I was gonna say with regard to Vegas. Chelsea Gray looking like Chelsea Gray again is going to be the if the Aces are going to make this run and they're going for a three-peat, if they're going to complete it, they're going to need that from Chelsea Gray, which she's capable of doing. I will always say, the 2022 playoffs, the way that Chelsea Gray shot the basketball and that entire playoff run is the greatest display of shot making that I have ever seen. Like I've never seen anything like that. It was like every shot she put up, I felt like it was going in. It didn't matter if it was a step back, if it was a fadeaway off one leg, if her feet were set, it didn't matter. I felt like she was gonna hit everything. And I don't remember exactly what her numbers were, but they were nuts. If she can play the way that she played against Seattle, um, Vegas got a shot. Vegas has a shot. As
I can
far as Seattle goes, they they just didn't have it. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe maybe getting this team some more time to gel could be beneficial for them. Um, maybe like I don't know what was going on with Jewel Lloyd this season. I know that there was like a lingering injury going back to last year, but it just something felt off with Jewel Lloyd the entire season. So I think the fact that they have NECA and Skylar and Ezzy next year kind of has to be the year that that team makes the push to being like one of the top two or three teams because that whole, I mean, that's a very formidable core, but that entire core is over 30. So, so you kind of need the the window is the window is closing. And I know it's early. I know it was the first year of the team constructed this way. But when you go get the point of going to get players in their prime is to say, we going for it right now. It's not, it's different from a team like Indiana where they say, okay, we're gonna be contending in 3 or 4 years. The storm, y'all time is now. So next year they have to really go for it. And I think they're capable of doing it. I think they're talented enough to do that. But I gotta see it.
Me too. They have Gabby Williams. I don't know why I thought her name was Wilson for a second. That is not that lady name. And I feel like if they have Gabby Williams from the start, I think that'll help a lot. But I do think they will. I don't know. They're gonna need something else, whether that's Jewel, um, you know, getting back to being more consistent, or if that's them, maybe getting Sammy more, into the rotation with the starters. Like I just think they have to do something. They have to do something to get them some more scoring consistently because that just seems like a very stagnant spot for them all the time.
uh see I feel like Seattle's improvements are one of those teams where they're going to be internal more than external. Like it's really only so many more players they can bring in. They had all the personnel that you should on paper. They have all the personnel that you should need to win a championship. Um, so I think, Jewel getting out her funk, Jordan Horsted getting another year, uh, Nika potentially adding a lot. Jewel, I mean, I know she didn't play a lot, and like on some Disney movie shit, she scored her first points in the last game of the season. Uh, or her first points in the last game of the season. But Jewel and them are very high on her. And just another year to jail because like bringing a team together like that is really hard. Obviously, the Liberty did not win last year, um, and them niggas got beat by Kayla George. So, I, it, it's very rare teams in their first iteration win anyway. The Aces took like 2, 3 years to jail. Um, it's just it's hard to kind of put pieces together like that and win in your first try. So I think with another year to jail, another year of players getting better and more comfortable, they'll be fine. It kind of sucked to see them get swept like that. I mean, as a Aces fan, good riddance. But that's less stress for me. But as like someone who enjoys most of the players on that team, if not all, and like just a basketball fan in general, it does suck because you could tell like, especially Skylar, she like stressed a lot during the season. Like it ain't the coach. It sometimes we go out there and we don't do what we got to do. And it was pretty obvious. There were some times where they did not do what they had to do. Um, like I know these games were competitive throughout, and so we won't have revisionist history on that, but there were definitely times where in the game where the energy just wasn't there. Even with these other, even with some of the time the Aces not necessarily playing up to their standards, the energy was there throughout the playoffs, or at least them 2 games. And I didn't feel that way about Seattle. It seemed sometimes it was Skylar, sometimes it was Gabby. Uh, and then whoever else wanted to join them in certain points. So I don't know. On the Aces side, they've drawn me back in. Chelsea Gray, you've done your big one. No, I'm not a fake fan, actually. I'm just not delusional. I can't bring myself to believe unnecessarily when they show me I shouldn't believe. And when they came out the Olympic break and and they was playing like shit and the Liberty weren't playing like shit, I was like, all right, if this how we doing. I did say, however, I would just like to clarify, I said this on multiple episodes. It is very hard to not believe in 2-time champions. And I did say they could get it together. They just look stank. And that wasn't my fault. They look stank. So
You need to stick beside them the way you stick beside them raggedy men. They're not raggedy. Shout out to the Jays. Shout out to the Jays. Love them. Love y'all. Jaylen
I'm
Brown, if
the
you anyway.
I'm the first person to say them niggas stink. I don't know what you're talking about. I if the Celtics stink, I'm the first person in the Discord to be like, these niggas stink. Because I I, I got evidence of that. So don't put me in that. But yeah. Chelsea Gray, you dog, you fucking dog. You got me again, girl. I don't whew, Lord, that should it's like she see them electric green jerseys and just get activated. I don't know what Seattle did to her, but that girl get activated. So I don't know. If she's playing like this, Asia's of course playing like Asia. Tip Hayes, dear God. I think the Aces organization every day will wake you up out your bed. I don't know who was the person that said call her and see if she want to play. But I appreciate you because you saved my life. Because that game 1, when Kelsey was on that bench and Tip Hayes was there instead, I was like, Becky, no. But Kelsey did play great in game 2, and I got to give her all credit. That girl played amazing in game 2. It's just before when she stank, we did not have an option to replace her stink. So it was just like, you better fight through that. You better fight through that. And sometimes she would, and sometimes she wouldn't. But now we got a safety release valve and tip, and I appreciate that. Um, Jackie getting her shot back. Alicia Clark is playing better than earlier this season. I really like Meg. Um, yeah, it's a lot to really like about the Aces right now. I mean, it's just when you won 2 championships one, it's hard not to believe, but two, you have high expectations. So when you lose to teams like the Sparks 3 times, it's hard for me not to be like, what's wrong with y'all niggas? I don't think they beat the Liberty all year. Uh, like they just, it was some teams they struggled with, and I'm like, what's good with y'all? So, yeah, this will be very good. I'm sure this matchup will also be very toxic. Uh, I just hope, I believe we'll pull this out because the things I say might get me kicked off Twitter. It's gonna get it if we win these 3 games, it's gonna get real nasty on here, and it'll be because of me. I'm be adding players. I won't even do that. I'm not be adding players.
What's this behavior? This is him, not
They
us.
got
Not us as a unit.
Pull up three does not condone these actions. Please
they
do not
got
add players.
they got have to quote me and call me broke, and I'm understand because it's true. But yeah, that should be really good basketball too. Again, my favorite matchups of the series of the semifinal series is going to be the Lynx and the Sun, just because of their brand of basketball. But Stewie versus Asia is always must see TV. You got your, I mean, they've been 1A, 1B for the longest. I think Asia has cemented herself as a solid one for now. But yeah, they really like basketball twin flames. I can't. They are they hoop soulmates for real.
So, something funny that I just saw. Yeah, the Liberty and the Aces played 3 times this season, and the Liberty did win all 3 games. I will say this is not the same Aces team that I just saw play Seattle.
And that
And I,
third win, it was they was look. Now I
yeah,
would have what they lost by what 6, 7, and they didn't have
mhm.
Asia. New York, y'all better not ever get back in that bag. I don't know what
Yeah,
y'all was doing that day,
yeah,
but
yeah, they're gonna have to. Yeah, it's funny because I feel like that game, I was like, it just feels trap game adjacent. Because it was just like, oh, they ain't got Asia. It is what it is. It's like, see, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. So good on the Liberty for holding on to that. But that had all the makings of the game that you look back on when the season is over and be like, ugh. We can't do that no more.
I
We can't do
hate
that no more.
I hate playing bad teams because bad teams always show out. That's exactly why we lost to the Sparks 3 times. It's like you already know your favorite team about to go in there and be like, we can go in here and bullshit and get this dub. And then they just don't. And then you got to hear discourse about it for however long. Like, why
See,
did y'all lose to them? What are you
did you
doing?
see what you saw what Becky Hammond said about Kurt Miller when he
Yeah.
yeah,
got fired? She
She
was
said,
like, hey, we did what we could.
keep that man his job. I said, now that's Becky, that's messy. You're
she
so
said
messy.
she said we gave them she said we gave them 3 wins. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So I do think we can go ahead and get into the semis. But as far as for now, I'm going Liberty in 5. I think it goes the distance. And I think it ends up back in New York for a winner go home game, and I think the Liberty get it done.
I'm saying aces in 4.
Well, that's crazy. I was about to say Aces and 4.
Fuck New York. Fuck Eric Adams. Fuck uh Chop Cheese. No, that's Philly. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
No,
Fuck Bodega.
Chopped cheese is New York.
Oh, okay, I was right. Fuck
Okay, maybe don't
Bodegas.
confuse the chopped cheese though.
Fuck bodegas. Uh, uh, I don't know what else. What else? I don't know. Fuck the Knicks. Fuck the Jets.
The
Aces
Giants,
and
the
four.
Giants,
Fuck the
yeah.
Giants. Fuck Daniel Jones.
Not the
Fuck Jalen
Nets.
Brunson. They're cooked. I don't have to worry about them. Um, Fuck Spike Lee. Uh, what's that nigga that be on SNL? That fuck Jason Sudeikis.
Not be your never.
Uh,
Oh my God.
yeah, Aces and four. Sorry to tell you.
I'm also I'm not gonna say all that, but I will say I do think Aces and Four. I do think they win the second game in New York. And then I don't know, I feel like when the Aces play at home, they just different, they just get
I think that's
revitalized.
fair.
So
I
I feel
think
like
that
that's the two.
I think them slot machines get them activated. It's the degeneracy and the gambling. It's in the you got the degeneracy in the building. I know it just powers. Playing basketball in a casino, all the evil intentions in the building just fueling my jump shot. A nigga just lost 5 bands and another person just lost his house. I am fueled. Can't Brooklyn don't got that. New York don't got that. Don't know the city got that.
But they have Big Ellie.
Is
And
big is Big Ellie coming to Las Vegas?
look, they might need to put her on the flight. No funny shit. Like she might need to come in there. Because I feel like they play a little different when she around. So she might need to go ahead and get on the group playing with them.
Big Ellie better not walk by that blackjack table. So I gonna put her in the headlock.
And still her shoes. This is crazy. This is
Just
crazy.
yes. We run it back to the shoe stealer.
I just,
I just lost 2 bands on my house. I know where to get me that back. Sabrina,
Please.
game one shoes. I need those off you. We running that back.
Please.
definitely I don't know. I would like to see the Aces win it because I would like to see a team three-peat. Like that's a good thing to see.
That's
I
the thing.
just
It's like
I
I
just
want them,
don't.
I
See,
want them
here's the
to
thing.
repeat, but I really want Connecticut to win more. I'm not gonna lie. I'm leaning more Connecticut win than I am three-peat. Three-peat would be cool as fuck. I would never want to root against the Aces, but I think Connecticut do it. Just like to see it.
It
And I
would be
feel like,
cool to see. It would be cool to
yeah,
see them get it done too. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
So
Aces. I like that.
so on the other side, um, we have the Lynx and the Sun. They also played 3 times this season. Um, the season series was 2-1 in favor of Connecticut. And the Sun won those games or won the season series by a combined 4 total points.
Every game was literally a dogfight. Literally every
Yeah.
last one of them.
And I think that holds true for this series. I think it's a dogfight.
I'm pretty sure the
Um,
Lynx only won. They one game was the game winner in like this last game of the season or something like that. So
Yeah, something crazy.
so what do y'all got? How many games?
Lynx have home court advantage, right?
Right.
I got Lynx in 5.
Do I think Connecticut could win on a road? I want to say Sun in 5. I want to say Sun in 5. But I'm a little scared because They don't have Ty Harris. And I feel like Ty Harris would kind of be crucial. Just to keep their guard rotations going. Because I think BB and Marina, Dejanay, I think they've like it's been good. But I think they like Ty's shooting would be the thing that I think would honestly I think make me feel more comfortable to be like for sure Sun and 5. I'm a scary Sun and 5. Like, okay, maybe kind of, yeah. I'm gonna maybe Sun and 5.
I'm going Lynx in 5.
I do believe in Bridget Carlton though.
See, the Lynx just it's funny because the Lynx and the Sun are so similar in the way that they're built to me. And they both move me so much. Like this is the type of basketball that I enjoy. I like I like teams that play defense to the level to just completely muddy up the other team's offense. And it's just a rock fight in every game. Like I have no like somebody got to come out on top. And yeah, I'm going Minnesota in 5, which means I have a Liberty Lynx finals.
Aces Sun, because that's actually what I want to see. I don't actually want to see because I actually need the agendas about New York and Minnesota to go down. So neither one of them, I need neither one of them to make it, to be honest. Yeah, so I don't want to see either one of them make it. Yeah. Aces Sun would be crazy. But then again, it's just kind of like maybe I want Liberty. Maybe I want Liberty Sun.
You think so? You think the Sun have a better chance at winning the finals if they play in New York?
Yes.
I do.
100%. 100%. I feel like when the Sun play the Aces, they just I ain't gonna say it's AT. She be her having to defend Asia, and I get it because Asia just be doing some bullshit. And bullshit in like complimentary. It's like in the complimentaries, I mean that the most complimentary way. It just make you mad because it's like, how was I supposed to defend that? And I just feel like AT internalizes that when she played the Aces. But I feel like when she played New York, she don't care. Like she ready to scrap with Stewie. She ready to push John Quill. Like she don't care. And I think them winning that series, I mean not the series, but winning that last game, this at the end of the season, I really think helped with their confidence. But I don't think Connecticut has beat the Aces in the last 2 years. Has that happened?
If we lost to Connecticut, I don't remember.
Oh, when Dewana had that 50 piece? Not 50,
Yes.
she had 50, but she had 40.
Yeah, that was the last time I remember losing to them, and we had Candace Parker. That was
True,
like
but Dewana was going too crazy that day. She really
No,
couldn't
she
lose that day.
won.
We ain't seen that Dewana all year, so I don't know. But if she get up for the Aces like that, go ahead on, son. Anyway. But yeah.
So we all got different finals predictions then. Because I said Liberty Lynx and Jermaine said Aces Sun and Don said Aces Lynx.
whose agenda will be correct. So no one has so the only one that no one has is Liberty Sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's my son will definitely win matchup. But for agenda purposes, I need the Aces to win.
It's funny because I feel like if the Aces play the I feel like if the Aces play the Lynx, I feel like the Lynx might snatch their chain.
Oh, I do too. Actually, no, but see, because those two back-to-back games that the Lynx play, and that was the week that everybody thought Fee was snatching Asia Chain. Honestly, just how the season shook out, I think Asia might be like, bitch, you won't ever play with me again. And then take that one personally. So I don't know. That might be a good one to watch.
I think it'd be good too. I need somebody to
Mhm.
ask them where's their podcast.
They did what? They did 2 seasons, right? Then they started in the bubble. Isn't that why they started it?
I think so.
Yeah. Just oof. Finals predictions. We're getting so close to the end of the season. It's nuts.
Well, um, are all hearts and minds clear?
I still don't remember where that's from. Oh, they used to say it on the committee spaces.
Oh, okay. I haven't been in one in so long.
Like I know somebody used to say that. It was y'all know who it is. Anyway.
Okay.
Teaspoon, you will be avenged. One of these fire coaches is going to be coaching for the Valkyries. I know that for a fact.
Not my hot take. My conspiracy theory is that Kurt Miller will be the GM of the Valkyries.
Now, if this man gets fired into a GM role, I got issues.
Well, see, all right. So that might have legs though. That might have legs
It got legs, but I ain't gotta like
because
them.
because he was working as GM of the Sun. So it kind of holds.
He got a good eye for veteran talent. Just saying. Just
I
saying.
can I can see that. I can see that.
Yep. You know, if Lindsey Harding wasn't on the stupid ass Lakers bench, maybe she could have coached the dream. I mean,
I
not the
think
dream, Chicago.
I think I think I think Lindsey Harding gets a call
She got
still.
to. She don't
Yeah.
even need to sit next to JJ Redick. That is nuts. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about that, but somebody call her. Thank you.
Yeah, I think she gets a call.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, if all our agendas have agendas, this has been another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don.
I'm Jamae.
And I'm Jay Trent.
And if you haven't, check out our Elena Coates episode before I get mad. Thank you.